In this video, let's take a look at how to pressure can spicy black-eyed peas. Well, welcome back. This is Jerry with the Sensible Survival Solution, and I am doing some spicy black-eyed peas today. We're doing some pressure canning. This is one of our favorites because we don't just like the standard black-eyed pea that you might get out of a can. We like ours a little spicier, and you're going to see how we do that. Now, what I'm going to start with are dried black-eyed peas that we get at the store in a bag. This is 2-pound bag of dried black-eyed peas. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wash them off in the colander here and bring those back over so that we can then start the canning process. So just hang on a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've washed off the black-eyed peas in my colander. They're all now rinsed. You need to do that because I have in the past had some foreign debris, dirt, and other things that got into the bag during packing. So when I rinse them off, it takes all that junk off of it. Just makes it a lot cleaner process. And that kind of leads me into this next piece, is that I want you to always use safe canning practices. Read and study the guide that comes with your canner and learn the safe way to do these things. So for me and our family, we like our food just a little bit spicier than the norm. This is one of the benefits of doing our own canning. So we start off with our in this case, our Cajun spices. And this is a salt substitute. So instead of using regular table salt, you can use this Cajun seasoning instead. So you're going to take 1/8 of a teaspoon in each of the jars. And if you're not using the Cajun spices and you just want regular seasoning, just use table salt. About 1/8 of a teaspoon works wonders, does really well. Next thing we do is that we like a little bacon in ours. So we're going to take some real bacon pieces and put it in each jar. This is not a lot. We're not pressure canning meats here. We're pressure canning black-eyed peas, so let's not get too crazy with that. In this one, the little absorbing packet got in, so we're going to take that out. So now we have our Cajun seasoning, and we have our bacon bits in there. Now, one more thing I'm going to do is, excuse me while I turn my back. You can tell we're from Louisiana. I'm going to use some Tabasco in ours. This is a Chipotle version of that. Don't kill yourself with this, but we're going to put a drop in each one, and that's going to then add a little smoky flavor to it and a little kick. Now this stuff's good. We put it on a lot of things in our cooking, and you'll see me in one of my videos where I do smoking. I'll put that in the brine water. It makes it almost where you can't breathe. So that's really good. All right, so now I've got the Cajun seasoning, the bacon bits, and now I've got my Chipotle Tabasco. And that's as far as it goes right there. Then you start adding your peas. I got a little measure cup here. That's 1 cup of black-eyed peas. These are pint jars. These are regular mouth jars. I use regular mouth jars on the vegetables because it's just easy to pour out. I use the wide mouth jars for my meats because then it's easier for them to slide out if it doesn't have a neck on the jar. So as I pour these in, you see this is the last piece of this. That's it. Now I've got my jars with my peas ready to go. The only thing left to do is to add water. This is just regular tap water. You add until it touches the bottom of this funnel, which is a good measurement because that's about 1 inch from the top of the jar. And that's what you want. I don't know how much easier this could be. This is how I started canning. This is how I learned. This is the stuff that I learned to do first. Is I thought I could use the dried peas and the dried beans because it's hard to mess that up. It just really is. So there you have it, man. Next thing to do is wipe off the lids. I don't like to, you want to make sure you wipe them off because it will have some residues on it. So maybe some salt or some other things that you may have added to the jar, but you always want to wipe that off. In fact, this is a good indication. I got a little Tabasco on the outside of this one. So now it's a good thing we're wiping that off. Because that might prevent a seal. And you'd hate that because then you'd have to eat them right away. So that's all there is to that. Next up, I've had my jar lids over here on the stove. They've been heating up. I'm going to bring those over now. I'm going to use this stick with a magnet on it to pull them out. Rookie mistake. I got excited one day and put my hand in there. It doesn't take long to look at hot water. I'm doing 5 jars. I didn't say this. I'm doing 5 jars because that's what my pressure canner holds is 5. Then while those are cooking, I'll go ahead and I'll do the rest of the jars. That's all there is to that. Put your band on, and you want the band on finger tight, and that's all. Now we got it. These are ready to go. Put them in the pressure canner. That will be the next step. One of the things about how we use this, these are, well, this particular batch, it's going to be a housewarming gift for my son and his family. Unless they watch this video, they won't know it's coming. But we use these in our everyday meals. We use these, well, in fact, we've eaten them twice this week. Each one of these jars, for us, feeds 3 people. So what I've just put in here is 15 meals. You want to add the water to when it comes up to about a 1/4 or a 1/3 of the way, somewhere in that area, just getting close. I even use the hot water from my lids. There you go. That's about a 1/4 of the way up. Next thing you want to do is add a little vinegar. And this vinegar is not to help the food taste better, taste whatever. It is to keep the hard water from attaching to the side of the jars, making them kind of powdery, cloudy. That's it. That's all there is to cooking this. Now we're going to put, I'm going to get the lid. We're going to put that lid on. Now I'm going to show you the lid. There's on this side here, there's a little latch. Now that'll, when this comes up to pressure, it's going to latch and it won't allow the canner to open. Over here is a knob. This is if you wanted to vent the steam, it would be on this setting. And here is cook. So now that's ready to go. Take that, put it on the top, and then you want to twist it. When you do that, it won't come off. It's not up to pressure now, so it's easy to open. When it comes up to pressure, this will lock and I won't be able to open it. So now you're going to turn on the cooker and you're going to set it for 40 minutes. Now 40 minutes is what it takes for peas and beans and those type things. There are different settings according to the altitude where you're at. We're basically at sea level here, about, I think 125 feet above sea level. So our cooker is going to go for 40 minutes. This power cooker cooks at 11.6 pounds or something like that. But it's under 12 pounds of pressure. So it does do a good job of pressure canning. The safe temperature is around 240 degrees at 11 pounds of pressure for 40 minutes. So this does do that. As you can see, the little dial has some lights moving on it. That indicates that it's coming up to pressure, it's heating. When it gets up to pressure, this is going to lock, the timer will start, and it'll count down the 40 minutes. Once the 40 minutes has reached the conclusion, the canning process is over, an alarm will go off, and we'll know that it's ready to open. It'll actually not open. It's done cooking. The pressure will still be there, so it has to come down. Most times I let it come down naturally. I won't open the vent here, but if you're in a hurry, you could do that. The canning process will be over in 40 minutes, and then somewhere about 10 minutes later I can open it up and we'll be done with that. I'll take you to that next step here momentarily. When the cooking process starts, I want you to hear how quiet this is. There's no steam, there's no bubbling, there's no jiggler. To me, this is a safer way of doing it. It's almost like push button. It's a push button and forget type of canning. I hope you enjoyed this so far. Stick around and we'll show you what the end result looks like. Okay, the pressure canner is coming up to steam now. There's a little steam escaping here. You can probably hear the hissing. That is now an indication that it's about to be locked, that the lid will not allow to be open. Hear that? Okay, now that's it. You cannot unlock this lid. It is now sealed. It is now safe, and this is as much noise as it's going to make. Listen. There's a little bit of bubbling, and that's it. That's the food inside in that hot water. It's 240 degrees inside under over 11 pounds of pressure. So this is going to be cooked and sanitary and safe to store in our pantry for years. Now this is going to have a 40-minute timer. We're going to let it cook, and we're going to go off and do other things while this is canning. For me, this is a lot better than the stovetop version with the little jiggler on top, and you have to sit there and monitor the temperature to make sure it's jiggling at the right speed and not going to get too much pressure. This is all contained within this power cooker, and you don't have to worry about it. So let's wait 40 minutes and see what happens. Okay, it's all done. Timer's gone off. The alarm has been triggered, so I've now been notified that the food is ready. It's pressure canned. Testing to make sure. I move the knob here. There is no steam escaping, so there's no pressure inside. I can then attempt to take the lid off. Turning it, it is now open. There's no pressure. I open it away from me to let the steam get away that way. And these things are still hot. So I'll take them out, and you can see that now they've been filled. You can see them bubbling. They're still hot. I place them on a rag on the counter because I don't want the hot jars on a countertop. They may scald or burn the countertop. So we're going to take them out, set them on that towel, let them cool down. And as they do, the vacuum inside will pull that lid down, making that popping sound that will indicate that the canning process was successful. Oh, there goes one. So as they cool down, you'll see the you hear that pop noise. So we know that they're all good. This one right here is sealed. So that's it. I got these 5 that are done, and I've got 3 more sets of 5 to go in. So I've got 3 more sets of rounds of canning to go in. This water's got a little bit of debris in it, so I'm going to empty it, put 5 more jars in, put more water in, a little more vinegar, set it up for another 40 minutes, and then let it go. It will can. Hope you've enjoyed this. Oh, there went another one. So I hope you enjoyed this pressure canning of the spicy black-eyed peas. 12 of these are going to go into a case for a housewarming gift, and the rest are going to go into our pantry for either daily use or long-term storage. It depends on where we need to put them. But these will be good for years. This is not something that we do that we have to eat within a short period of time. These are canned. These are canned just like you would get them at the grocery store. Since I started this process a few years ago, I haven't been down the grocery aisle for the canned goods since then. We do our own. This is fun. I enjoy this. I hope you do too, because this is the way to get back to where our forefathers were and the way they did it, and they did it right. They didn't have the grocery store to run down to, and quite frankly, I'd rather walk 5 feet and get into my pantry than I had drive miles to get to the grocery store. I hope you enjoy this. If you do, like and share. Teach others how to do this little simple process. This is fun and easy. See you guys. Here's all 20 jars, all washed, labeled, ready to go. The 12 on the left are for the gift, and those 8 are going to be eaten in our everyday food supply. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, help us build our channel by subscribing to it, and remember to always be ready, be prepared, and be vigilant.